Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Thursday, September 9th, starting with the Russell here quickly, and I don't think that the Russell's going to make it to the upside. So this move here, I think that we need to include it into this particular correction here. All of these moves through here are all three waves here, and we could put this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for the B wave to sit here. I don't have an impulse wave down here just yet. There is a possibility that we can count it slightly differently, that would just get one more top here if we were lucky to, and then bring wave 5 down through here, which I want to share with you. But look, it's just the main point here is that it's not looking good at this point. So let me just go to the 4-hour chart here for a moment. So that's why I've got the B wave here, because that's the low. I can look at that as an A and a B and a C wave here. But the other way to look at this too, to finish off, if we're lucky, is to put wave 2 here, and that would be wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here, to have one more push to the upside. So it's looking a little bit sort of sad at this stage for this. So just on the hourly chart here, I was looking at an A and a B and a C. It does fit up here as wave 1 and 2. Wave 3 here is quite small, and we've got an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. So it sort of all fits in quite nicely. I mean, of course, the other way to look at this is 5 waves up here, coming back to the 61.8%, and then, you know, as a wave 1 and 2, and then moving up there. But you know, it's just not doing it. The thing that sort of haunts me the most is looking at the NASDAQ and the SP500. They can be topping out in their structures. So with the NASDAQ here and the S&P, the thing is that I like to count the waves up in the most conservative manner, but also like to, you know, not stick my head in the sand and try to be balanced about it and look for, you know, further upside as well. And you know, one of those things is that looking further to the upside is we know that this is the length, and the S&P is in the same boat as well. So if we look at this as the length of wave 1 here, well, then we'll just naturally expect wave 3 not only to be the equal length, but another 60% on top of that as well, like way up here. And that's all possible, right? But my job is to be an analyst and a trader, and also just point out both, you know, look at both sides of the coin and so on. So there is if we know that there's plenty of money pumped into the system here, so it's okay for wave 3 to be shorter in this case, and then wave 5 to be shorter still. Then, you know, wave 3 can't be the shortest, so wave 5 is going to be shorter than wave 3, so to speak, and that would give us a nice classic trading levels pattern sort of across this level up here. So yeah, I can extend the count. That's not really the problem. But my point being here is that I think we're very, very close to having this wave 3 top in here. So that's really what we need to talk about. And you know, even if you don't trade stock, then I think it's kind of good to have a look at the stock videos that we do on the, you know, those, you know, like the Apples and those bigger stocks, and see how they're progressing, because they're quite close to their tops as well. And I want to bring the NASDAQ and the S&P into that fold. Okay, so yeah, we can just sort of cut through here and check this out. So been looking at from this wave 4. Of course, I could use this as wave 1 and 2 as well, but just keeping it conservative with 1 and 2 and a third wave up here and a fourth wave. And you can see the 5th wave here. So I think there's just one more little sort of move here to finish that off. That's what I'm thinking. And as I always say, markets don't always top the way that you would want them to. So you kind of got to know at what point things are going to be breached in that place. So let's just. I think we've been looking at a few counts, but this is what I'm considering here. is just for the S&P and the NASDAQ, one more little move up here, and this would be 5 waves up here. You know, I know Bitcoin's got nothing to do with this market as such, but, you know, they all kind of connected in one way or another, even if they're inverse to each other or whatever. So the Bitcoin market's rolled over. You know, it's taken the gold market with it. They're both sort of in the same value asset, physical and digital asset sector, I guess. You know, but how does that sort of affect other markets, other commodities, and where's the, you know, because Bitcoin's in that sort of store of value, but also currency to a point, you know, how does that affect US dollar and USDT, Tether, you know, and then the commodities and back to the Australian dollar and commodity dollars and so on, you know, and they're kind of all connected in a way. So if Bitcoin is rolling over, you know, can we expect that in these markets as well? So anyway, we've had a few counts for the NASDAQ. This was one of them here. I think I missed this one here, which has actually got this possibly has got the actual top in here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 getting shorter and shorter. But I don't see a nice impulse wave down here just yet. Do you know what I mean? Like a little 5. I don't see that coming in here just yet, but we'll take a closer look. Just coming back to that 4-hour chart here, just leaving us another option to the upside. This is the same count, so this is coming into that as well here. You know, you've had your US holiday, so it made it a little bit flat, and you could count this in a. I like to keep things as simple as possible. You could probably fit this in as a WXY as well here. So one of the points being here is that, I mean, you could even put the top there if you wanted to, I guess, but depends how you count this little first wave in here. But let's just take that to roughly at the top there. It's at the 38.2% retracement level now. So we can expect this market to, even though this hasn't given us a nice A, B and C wave here, and like I said, it could be counted differently, we're looking now for 5 waves to the upside for all of this. So it doesn't have to go that far, okay? So that's this, you know, the days ahead, this is what we'll be looking for, those 5 waves there. Let's just have a look at the S&P. The same with the S&P as well. The mainstay here is that's the length of wave 1 on the weekly chart, somewhere in there. Is that about right? Yeah. And putting that on wave 2 there, we're still short. Okay. Now, you know, I've been bullish, you know, I try not to be bearish or bullish. I just try to gather all the evidence and build from that particular case, you know, and, you know, we were bullish once we'd felt that we got the low in here, and we waited for the market to find support on top of the medium level here before we started going long. So we needed to validate things. So it's just a matter of gathering the evidence, and, you know, I've been bullish all the way through here as well, when a lot of people were negative in the market as well. So I just try to gather the evidence. I don't always get it right, but there is a case, you know, even the wave 3 is not long enough here. I've got 2 counts that puts the wave 3 very close to this point. And yeah, when things turn, they can turn, you know, quite quickly in terms of the A wave. I'm not saying this particular one here, but I do need to point out that when a market's moving up, it is the A wave that comes down, which is the fastest and sharpest, you know, and it kind of catches you unaware. And then the B wave and the C wave can be a bit lazier. If it's going to be a wave 3, well, then it's going to be sharper. But the wave A is normally quite sharp, so it catches people out. So I really want to make you aware of things before they actually occur, and that means that, you know, your position sizing to the upside in, be it stocks or indices and so on, you know, that it kind of needs to become less now, and you need to keep tighter stops, and you really need to manage your exposure at this point in the game. And also too, I want to say that when we enter this wave 4 here, before it starts, wave 4's, in Elliott terms, if wave 2 is simple, then wave 4 can be complex. So there's about 12 different types of patterns in Elliott. But even in, we can get a triangle in wave 4, but there's half a dozen different types of triangles as well, So basically ascending and descending, and then within that there's different types as well. But, so it's going to be complicated, and I won't have all the answers in this for this. So it's also a time that you need to trade less within this wave 4 structure, depending on, obviously, if you're an intraday trader, it doesn't matter diddly squat. It's just another day, of going to the office. But if you're a short-term trader or trend trader, then you need to put on a different hat. You need to think differently within all of this. Okay, so I will be harping on about this more and more as we go along, because I don't want people getting caught out. So this is one of the conservative counts. And we can see here, because we can count 5 waves in this, it's probably a little bit shorter than this one. So that means wave 5 is going to be shorter still. So getting to the 4600 would be one step. So what we can do is we can count 5 waves as this moves up here. And when we get to the top of 5 waves, we could say that, well, that could possibly be a top. But if we get an A, B, C correction here, and we take out wave B, well, then we can say, okay, well, we're going to go higher now. So we'll go to the next, we'll go to the next degree of structure and work it from that point. But when we get from this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, I really want us to be, aware. And I know this can be counted differently within all of this as well. There's lots of different counts that we can use in here, but it still takes us to, most of the 2 conservative counts still takes us to around that 4600 area through there. That was no good. We're going to go to the 1 hour chart. This is kind of the one I think we should just focus on for the time being. And of course, as you know, I've got counts that can take us much higher, but yeah, I just feel that we need to be a little bit careful. So if we look at this as wave 1 and wave 2 here, and count this up here as 5 waves up here, and this 5th wave can sit over here as well for that, because there's a nice little 5 wave structure here. So that wave 5 is probably better suited really to be over here. This is the wave 4, 1 lesser degree. So just to let you know that the market can come down further for this, okay? But it has got nice support on top of the 45 here. If we get a support on top of group 1, the 45.30, then you can quite comfortably go long from that point, okay? But I do feel that obviously within group 1 here, we've got the 45.20. So a nice classic trading levels pattern on that. I think the low's actually in place here. So obviously we'll need a bit of a pullback in this. I'll just go to the tick chart here. So just before we go, just so you know, if we do push up from this point here, we'll just be looking for 5 waves to the upside. And this would also be in line, I don't know where it will go, how far it will go, but it will probably be shorter than this structure here, okay, which is quite a lot, good 100 odd plus points. So we may even get up to the 46.50. To the beginning of group 2. I don't know, but we'll just do our counting on the way up, okay. Yeah, I think the tick chart's pretty much the same sort of story to a point here. Let me just little bit messy, and to be honest, I haven't really resolved all of this in here, but I know it was part of the holiday situation, so there's different ways of looking at it. But I know this wave 4 can pull back to the 44.80, so we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. What I wanted to do is just have a look in here to see what we've got here so far, which I might just go to the 10 ticks in here and pull this up. Let's just see. So we can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here for that. Bit sharp there. It's the end of the session as well, so it's a little bit tricky to count. Not looking that good in here or here. Might have to forgive that a little bit. So let me think about this for a moment. Okay, so we could look at it. This is a bit of a long shot. So 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here and 2 here, and then we'll treat that as wave 3 and wave 4 here and wave 5 here. So in this case, this is a long shot. Okay, so we can look at that here all as wave 1 there. So we'll just put that as wave 1. And wave 2 can take us back to this point, to the 50-60%. I mean, there's not a good 5-wave structure, so forgive me. But what I'm thinking is that if we pull back down here and then push up, you'll know to go long above, above these tops here at least. Okay, it's something to work with, Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. So I just want to go back over and point out that once this 5 waves here is completed, then we'll get to the top here of this 5 waves, wherever it is at 46 or 46.50, and then we're just going to observe the market. We're going to see if we get a corrective move down through here in some way. We won't know it's corrective until it takes out a top like that. And we also need to be mindful, because when we get 5 waves here, we get 5 waves here, we know we're going to get another 5 waves over here. But what we're sort of really looking for is we're looking for a decent 5 waves down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking for something like that. And then we know that we'll get an ABC back up at that point. Then we can start looking to go short at that point. So it may be really easy like that. That would be like the simple way for it to unfold. The other way that's a little bit tricky that it can unfold is that we go down for 5 waves, we come back here, and then we go down for 5 waves, and then we come back up here, and you think, oh, that's corrective because it's overlapped that. But that can be wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then this can be down here bouncing off this back for 1 and 2 as well. So we can get something like this, and then it just bolts down at that point, because it'll be the third of the third of the third of the third, and bang, So this is the sort of thing that can happen on a Monday, so be very careful. It's Thursday today, isn't it? We still know it won't push up there in time, so hopefully we'll see Thursday being a bullish weekly cycle, seeing Thursday the bear day, and finishing this off maybe down to here, and Friday, Monday and Tuesday that week pushing up there and finishing that off. So it may not be until the next Monday that we'll see this come down. But like I mentioned, markets don't top the way that you would like them, and then we'd probably go back and would probably have to do some weird thing. So anyway, today was really about waving the flag, right, just to get people's attention that that we can possibly with stock and indices, we're now looking closer at this wave 3 top here. Okay, anyway, said my piece. Alrighty, cheers.